All right, everyone, welcome back into another PrizePicks video. Going to begin into the top props today. But first, getting into a recap from yesterday. So the tacos ended up going 3 for 3, which was awesome. So at the very least, you should have been able to win 7 total bets yesterday, plus 2 ties, which would have netted you a profit of $45. Once again, I see that as free promotion money. I got a lot of screenshots and some messages from some people saying that they did a little bit better because I felt like I did a good job of warning people against kind of the iffy props that we had out there on the day. And then just giving Don a quick shout out here. He's been a long time follower of 9 to 5 Sports. You know, he's been able to find a profitable approach with kind of my strategy for the tacos. At least just use it as free promotion money. But let's go ahead and get into today's slate, looking at the top props in MLB today. So looking at right now, we are getting a couple of decent ones. Like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bet that are about a 53% chance to hit. And if we look at it, we are getting some pretty good lines on them compared to the projection. Now walks allowed, you could go like these are all good. I like to see that they are plus whatever the PrizePicks line is, but we can see the best one that we are currently getting is probably going to be this pitching strikeout prop for AJ Smith. So the over is favored at -133, which is about a 53% chance to hit. The Vegas line has it set at 4.5. PrizePicks has it set at 4.5, but the projection data has it set at 5.43. All in all, the projection data in itself, I always mention this, that number doesn't really matter. It's more or less the consistency aspect of it where I'm pulling in the projection data from the same source. So like, that's my way of saying, if your projection data is different and there's another prop that's popping up for you guys that you like, that is fine. As long as you're getting the same consistent message, that is what matters. Let's go ahead and take a peek at AJ Smith. So the only game that he's gotten over 4.5 strikeouts was that game against Colorado in his last start. It is worth pointing out, however, that was only his second major league start. So that is going to be the reason why. So if we look at it right here, we can see, you know, didn't pitch a full allotment of innings. So really he's been 1 for 2 for getting the over here. And so if we look at his first start, it wasn't exactly one that was terrible. Okay, the pitch count was a little bit lower at 86. Pitched 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs in that game. He just wasn't getting strikeouts. So kind of weird in that aspect, but obviously this is one that we're going to be liking a decent amount. So yeah, not a bad bet on the day today. Here's a pretty good prop that we are getting currently on Underdog that I want to point out. So we got Brady Singer for over 4.5 strikeouts. He's projected to get a 5.29. The average Vegas line is giving this about a 54% chance to hit. PrizePicks has already bumped it up to 5, but this is going to be a good bet for you guys on Underdog if you choose to make that type of bet there. And then really the only like other decent prop bet that we're getting where we're looking at the difference between Underdog and PrizePicks is Tyler Wells for over pitcher strikeouts. The average Vegas line has this set at 5.36. So because of that, Underdog has bumped it up to about 5.5. PrizePicks currently has it set at 5. He's projected to get at 5.06. You know, tough to say that there's a big edge there. It's going to be tight, right? So not a terrible one, but I did just want to call that one out for you. Let's go ahead and look at some pitching fantasy score props. So the thing that I like about the pitching fantasy score props, or really the fantasy score props, is I typically don't have to worry about them being adjusted throughout the day. It's just solid picks and advice for you guys throughout the day to be able to use and apply it throughout the day. The best one that we're going to get is Castillo here for over fantasy score. What I find interesting is that based off of the projections, not expected to get there, 38.06. But Vegas has him pretty aggressively over, which means that they think he's going to pitch deep into the game. He's going to get a quality start and he's going to get a win as well. So the projection thinks it's going to be close. Vegas thinks it's not really going to be close. I mean, 7 is a big difference there. So that might be one I just roll with on the day today. It seems like a pretty solid one that we are getting there. Now let's go ahead and take a peek at some hitting fantasy score props. So right now as it sits, and this will probably update throughout the afternoon games as well. We got George Springer as a decent one and we got Yelich as a decent one as well. Both okay. You look at the one from yesterday where we had Bryce Harper as really the only good hitting fantasy score prop. He was able to get 6, which ended up being a push. So the tool continues to hit how it's supposed to. I do just want to call out Otone here because he is also pitching today. So we have a little bit of a discrepancy in there for his prop line, projected prop line, just as an FYI. Okay. The Vegas line thinks he's going to struggle again hitting the baseball though. So not a terrible bet there, but I just want to call that out for you. So now we go ahead and look at some WNBA props that we are getting. I just want to call these out. We got, Sophia Cunningham. PrizePicks has the line set at 16.5 for her points. Vegas line has it set at 17.5, and that's being favored as a push. projected to get 21.3. So a very interesting one there. We got another one here, which is about a 0.5 difference. We got a few here that are, essentially pushes, but the projection data is favoring the over and Vegas is kind of favoring the over as well. So Chelsea Gray and Sophie Cunningham are potentially giving us some really good props right there. And then just for, this is extremely interesting, a much better prop, Cunningham would be on Underdog today. So the fact that she is 16 points on Underdog, whereas the average Vegas line has as a push at 17.5, that is a big prop line difference. So I don't ever start the day trying to target Underdog. I kind of like to have that come naturally. It might be a day in which we are targeting Underdog a little bit more. Let's go ahead and flip that around here now. So this is another situation in which, yes, the average Vegas line has this set at 18.5. Kind of a push, about a 52% chance for Wilson to get over 18.5 points. Underdog already has bumped up to 19. She's only projected to get 18.1. So kind of tight, but at the same time, that would be a path in which we could potentially be betting the under there on Underdog. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a more direct look at Underdog. All right, so yeah, we are getting some decent props. We got Brady Singer for over walks allowed, 1.5 walks allowed. That's another good one there. Connor for over hit, projected to get 0.9. That's a pretty good one. 54% chance for that one to hit. Let's just sort by the no vig percentage here. So we got 3 props that we could probably roll with. 2 of them are Brady. I'm going to assume that those are going to be gone by the time this video is uploaded, so probably not touching those, just FYI. So let's go ahead and get into the bet of the day. We are going to start off with an Underdog bet. So we saw that these two have about a 54% chance to hit, taking the juice out, which is pretty awesome. We typically don't get that, so I'm going to roll with those. And then, yes, the Sophie Cunningham points prop. If we're betting the over, we would want to do it there on Underdog. Okay, we're getting 3 solid bets there on Underdog, so we're going to roll with that. And then just looking at the PrizePicks bets that we are getting, I will choose to go with Castillo, although I wish he was projected to get higher. That's my biggest worry there. I like to see both of them, the Vegas line and the projection, be over. And that's why I think it's more of an Underdog day. We'll see. But then Smith, that is just a good prop there. 4.5 strikeouts. Probably the best one that we're getting as it sits right now. Throughout the day, hopefully we'll get some better hitting fantasy score props. We'll see. But that's going to be it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed the coverage. If you did, give a like and subscribe. Let's have a good slate. And as always, let's keep cashing.